I told my entire team to replace themselves with AI in a week. Here's the 9 AI tools they came back with across sales, marketing, HR, training, recruiting, and operations. Let's start with sales. Our deal team talks to hundreds of prospective businesses every single month. Now, they've implemented 2 AI tools to replace themselves. First, to increase show-up rates for meetings, we now send personalized videos of me using entirely AI.
Hey Jordan, hey Josh, hey Kevin, hey Michael, Nathan, Ryan, you passed our initial screen. Congratulations, huzzah.
So this saved them all the time in missed calls and all the time I would have to spend manually saying, hey Johnny, hey Dave. I never said any names. Now to do that, they asked me to record one video, just one. The AI would cut in and replace my mouth and move it in the right way to say a name that I never spoke. Now on top of that, the deal team does a lot of emailing. So they wanted to have a more effective way to write email follow-ups, which normally can take 10 to 20 minutes a pop, 2 hours plus per day. And so they used Compose.ai. And so here's an example of what that looks like right after a call in action. Now, if you think about the breakdown of how much they replaced, 2 hours per day on a 40-hour work week means 25% more output for the same cost. That's a win for me, it's a win for them because value is created. Next, my content team came to me and how they were gonna replace themselves. They used 3 different tools to get 250 pieces of content out per week. First off, they wanted to give everybody in Mosey Nation more ways to consume my stuff. So they added audio versions of any email or any tweet that I post that I never actually read.
These are actually just me tweeting all day. No one writes my tweets but me.
You could actually use the same voice-over tool, which was Resemble AI, to send voice memos to prospects. Create entirely custom text and then send it as a voice memo that you can record in real time. It's freakishly like me, and it was only with about 10 minutes of training.
90% of them come while I drink coffee in the morning and between sets when I work out.
And to give you a quick look into the future, Podcast.ai actually scraped all of Joe Rogan's podcast to get his voice down.
It's entirely possible.
And this is a clip from the intro of one of their podcasts entirely generated by AI.
Another episode of the Bro Jogan Experience. On this episode, I welcome my friend who's difficult to describe.
How's it going? Good to see you, buddy. It's been a long time since I've been on the show.
So in the future, audiobooks may just be recorded entirely through AI because the author's voice can be duplicated and they don't have to spend 3 days recording the book. Or every blog post will have an audio version that everyone can listen to. And the best part is for me is that the team doesn't have to kind of disrupt my day.
Hey, can you record this thing it'll only take 30 seconds.
That 30-second disruption might take 30 minutes for me to get back on track. The second tool that they use to replace themselves is something called Runway.ai. This is for image editing and some other stuff too, but we're using it mostly for images right now. So what used to take 30 minutes to edit out an object or replace my shirt or change the color of my hat, we can now do in seconds. On the flip side, you can also edit out an entire figure, put whatever background they want behind it. On top of that, if you've ever needed to remove background sound, you ever have one of those, you're like, where was this massive fan in the background? In a few clicks, you can remove all of the background sound of an audio for any kind of video, and they can do it in seconds. The third tool they used was Descript. All right, this is pretty slick for a couple reasons. Number one is that for editing, it can get straight to the point of a video where I say specific things. So if you've ever been like, man, I know there's this point in this video that I recorded that's 38 minutes long, rather than mindlessly clicking play and trying to speed it up and trying to pay attention while also trying not to doze off, instead of all that, it transcribes the entire video and you can just pick the part where you say the thing and it goes straight to it. So rather than trying to find it through video watching, you can find it straight in the text. If they don't have to spend 2 hours today looking for different clips, sifting through like pause, rewind, then they can spend the rest of that time thinking about how they want to package the video, what sound or what music they want to use to evoke an emotion. And that is going to take a video from 100,000 views to 1 million views. Eventually AI is going to be able to do that too, though. Let's switch gears to training. One of the most expensive things for any new company is that they have to onboard new people. After you've already gone through the process of interviewing tons of candidates and taking them through first round, second round, third round interviews, now you've given them the job they're in. They're still useless because they don't know how your company works. They don't know your values. They don't know the cadence. They don't know the communication structure. They don't know meeting. All these things they have to repeat over and over and over again, and it's time consuming. My director of people came to me and said, hey, we can actually create all the onboarding videos using AI.
Thanks for applying with Acquisition.com. My name is Jessica. I am an AI-generated member of the Acquisition.com team.
What's cool about this is you can have a living document that you update as things change. So instead of going to a studio, setting everything up, and then reshooting an entirely new video, you just change the text and boom.
Make sure to click that like button.
The video changes instantly. If it's not perfect, I wouldn't worry about it because it will be soon. If you speed up AI videos, I've noticed that it sounds a lot more human.
Make sure to click that like button.
All trainings can be just done straight through text, and then the avatar can deliver them. This is hundreds of hours of human labor that is just getting eliminated. So there are 2 things that increase productivity per worker. One is education, and the other one is technology. When you have AI-based education, you're actually using both. The person who was doing the training is now using technology to save the time. The person who's receiving the training is now becoming educated and as a result, becoming more productive. Now let's shift gears over to recruiting. Our recruiters recruit top talent for our portfolio companies. Check out how our recruiters are using Tavis to create more personalized outreach.
I was talking with Alex Ramosi and they said you should totally check out Acquisition.com.
If you only go through using job boards to get your talent, then you're only getting people who are dissatisfied and want to leave. But the highest producing people are always employed. And so if you want to have personalized outreach to get the best talent, consider using stuff like this. Then they hop on a candidate interview. After every candidate interview, you take notes on the candidate. And that serves two purposes. One is if the person isn't a good fit, you send them notes about why they're not a good fit and you wish them the best. On the flip side, if they are a good fit, you want to take those notes and pass them on to the next person so they have more context. Otter AI solved that by taking notes on these interviews and timestamps. This saves our recruiters 10 to 15 minutes per call per day. If you can now get more productive interviews, then it means you can get more productive people into your business, and then the savings on that are probably incalculable. Now let's shift to my operations team. So our admin for our internal meetings began using AI to attend meetings and take notes on her behalf. Now, instead of having to sit on meeting after meeting after meeting to take notes so they could report back to the executives, Firefly's AI will take meetings and they can just look at the meeting notes in probably a tenth of the time compared to sitting in on each of those meetings. And then they can consolidate them. They use ChatGPT for that and they can send it to us. You can now have visibility into your entire organization in a way that you couldn't ever before. Now let's talk about the most expensive resource in every company, time. And the number one time waster of time, those awkward like 30, 15 minute, 45 minute white spaces between meetings. And it's not enough time to do any deep work. So you just basically sit there and waste your time waiting for the next thing to start. That doesn't have to happen anymore. So what our ops team did was get the entire team onto Reclaim AI to reshuffle calendars in real time to maximize output of an entire company by, wait for it, 40%. Rather than have thousands of emails every single day simply trying to coordinate times, it can do that by seeing everyone's transparently and then making it so that there are as few blank spaces as possible on everyone's calendars. And the biggest project that we're using robots and AI for at Acquisition.com is building our new Holdco headquarters. We figure if we use robots, we can have them work around the clock, not need to take time off.